You must wait for the giraffe keeper. The giraffe will do what his keeper tells him.
But Thomas didn't want to wait for the giraffe keeper. He wanted to show the children the tallest animal on Sodor.
Don't worry, Cranky. I'm sure Mr. Giraffe will do what I tell him.
Then there was trouble. The mayor and Sir Topham Hatt were cross. They had waited a long time for the tallest animal on Sodor. But the tallest animal on Sodor was fast asleep.
Wake up, Mr. Giraffe, please!
But the giraffe slept on.
This is a disaster, Thomas.
Thomas felt terrible. There were no rosy red apples, no juicy leaves, and no wide-awake Mr. Giraffe.
I know, sir. It is a disaster. I should have waited for the giraffe keeper. I was silly to think Mr. Giraffe would do what I told him. I'll puff my hardest to the docks and bring the keeper here.
So Thomas pumped his pistons and raced away. The giraffe keeper was at the docks.
I'm sorry to keep you waiting, sir. All aboard!
The giraffe was still asleep when Thomas puffed into the animal park.
I'm sure Mr. Giraffe will wake up now you're here, sir.
And then Thomas chuffed away. He had a lot to do. At Farmer McCall's farm, Thomas picked up more rosy red apples. And from the orchard, more juicy leaves. At last, Thomas puffed and shoved and huffed back to the animal park. Everyone was cheering and clapping Sodor's tallest animal.
Mr. Giraffe, you're awake!
The giraffe heard Thomas's toot. He stretched his long neck up, 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 and then down to Thomas's face.
Welcome to Sodor, Mr. Giraffe.
One morning, Henry was huffing happily. He clickety-clacked around a bend, straight into an old freight car.
Flatten my funnel. Who left that there?
Henry's piston rods were bumped and bent.
Oh my! Henry! I will shunt you to the steam works.
Thank you, hero.
So, you bashed into an old freight car, Henry.
Someone must have left it there.
Health and safety, Henry.
Henry was an old engine, but he didn't know what health and safety was.
Health and safety, Henry, is watching out for things that might make accidents happen.
And you, Henry, had an accident. Bam!
Later, Henry was fixed. Henry was steaming slowly to the rescue center. Then, Percy raced past.
Cool your pistons, Percy! Slow and careful is the way. Health and safety every day.
But Percy was in too much of a hurry to hear. Later, Henry and Rocky chuffed cheerfully along. Suddenly, Percy whooshed round a bend and stopped.
Oh, no!
Oh, dear.
What's happened, Percy?
I've puffed too far too fast. Now I've run out of water.
Henry was worried.
Rocky will have to move you, Percy. Health and safety.
And before Percy could wheesh another word, he was swinging high above the track from Rocky's long crane arm. Then there was trouble. Sir Topham Hatt arrived. He was cross.
Rocky, what are you doing with Percy?
It's health and safety, sir.
Health and safety have a time and a place, Henry. But now there is an emergency. I need Rocky to help Toby. And Percy has looked all over the island for the telegraph poles and wire he has to deliver.
Henry felt terrible.
I should have asked if I could take Rocky, and I should have asked Percy about the poles and wires. I'm sorry, sir. I wanted to stop accidents, but instead, I have made them happen. May I take Rocky now to the emergency?
Yes, Henry. Right away.
Henry picked up the rolls of wire and the telegraph poles. Then he chuffed cheerfully away to find Percy. Henry found Percy by the water tower. Percy couldn't puff. A tree had fallen across his track.
Oh dear, Percy! Can I help?
Yes, please, Henry.
Henry knew just what to do. Henry chuffed to find Rocky.
Health and safety is the way. Just ask first to save the day.
Diesel clattered back from market. He passed Farmer Trotter's farm. There was James's wagon of pretty pink piglets. Then, Diesel had a very special idea.
If I take James's piglets to the school children, they are sure to clap and cheer.
So Diesel buffered up to the piglet's wagon. And he hooted happily away, as fast as his wheels could rattle. Diesel arrived at the school. He saw children standing outside.
Rattling rods, they are sure to clap and cheer me now.
But the children didn't clap and they didn't cheer. The children were wet and they were worried.
Trembling tracks. The children don't want to see pretty pink piglets. They want a new roof for their school.
Then there was trouble. Sir Topham Hatt arrived on Tomas. He was cross.
Diesel, what are you doing with James's piglets? And where is the slate for the school roof?
Diesel felt terrible.
I'm sorry, sir. I have been very silly. I brought the piglets to show the children because I wanted to be clapped and cheered. But now I see that the children don't want pretty pink piglets. They want a new roof for their school.
That's right, Diesel. You must put this right. Now.
Diesel clattered away. He wanted the children to be happy. Diesel arrived at Farmer Trotter's farm.
I'm sorry, Farmer Trotter. I took your piglets to show to the children. I wanted to be cheered and clapped like James. But now, I know I should have taken the slate to the school. That was much more important.
Farmer Trotter was happy to have his piglets back, and Diesel was happy to hurry to pick up the slate. The children were still waiting.
Don't worry, children. Here are the slates for your roof.
The children clapped and cheered.
Yeah! Hooray for Diesel! Now he won't be wet. Hip, hip, hooray for Diesel! Hooray for Diesel! Hip, hooray for Diesel! Diesel! Now he won't be wet.
Diesel heard the children cheer. He saw them clap.
I have never been happier.